patients coming to the emergency department. Some absolutely have life-threatening needs and need to be here. Some who just aren't sure where to go when they need help. We don't keep them in the back.
That's a nice way of saying a lot of them don't need to be here.
Of the ambulance, but sometimes we have to hold the crews with them because we have no trolley to offload them while the team are desperately trying to make it.
Right, I made this thing up like last year. I was like, guys, why don't we just build an extra section and put onto the emergency department and just buy trolleys and put them on there? Like, it doesn't take a genius to work that one out. Not all of them need ambulances sitting there waiting for them. The only issue is you send those ambulances off, then they just bring more, and then you're like, well, fuck, now I don't know what to do because there's so many people just sitting here and waiting. But instead, we'll let them stay at home and lie on the floor for 18 hours because that's nice, isn't it?
A bed in the hospital to get a patient out of ED.
In my hospital, we've started doubling up patients into rooms because we just don't have enough room. So there's only a matter of time before we start putting another patient in each bed.
But we've been talking, another 4 ambulances have arrived. I'll need to head back in now and see what we're doing about pulling patients out of the department to offload those ambulances.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let us start with 12:30. We've still got a busy department.
I mean, people have like 5 million meetings a day. That's why no work's getting done.
And ambulances to offload.
So we've got 106 in the department at the moment. The longest wait is 2 hours.
We need to move at some significant pace. It's Tuesday afternoon. We know that we're going to be round.
Fuck, it's Tuesday afternoon! What are we going to do? It's Tuesday afternoon! Typically the worst time for patients. And the most busy time is Tuesday afternoon. Didn't you know that? No? I thought it would be like Monday or maybe Friday night or... Yeah, that's because Tuesday afternoon is, I don't think it's that special.
We have got 4 in ED to place, 2 that will be going out imminently. No one's gone to theatre yet.
As I'm sure you know, we're chronically short-staffed like all of the NHS is. There is a national shortage of operating department practitioners and anaesthetic nurses. You would really want a waiting list not to have anything significant on it. You certainly don't want a patient coming to harm on a waiting list. And obviously shutting down over COVID meant that we had an increase in the waiting list because no one was treated at all.
Are the government doing anything about this like NHS issue, or are we just gonna let the staff just drop one by one and I don't know what will happen then? Maybe all the old people will die and then there'll be less to look after. Maybe that's their plan, and then there's just a smaller population that are younger and fitter and well. Fuck, I think I've figured it out.
Yep. 2 little woods. Yep. And 2 coppers. Yep. So we don't have the 2.
What we're doing is putting on an awful lot of extra elective lists in order to deal with the backlogs and asking the staff to step up and take those on as extra work, so as overtime. Now we don't have anyone who's waited over 2 years, so we've cleared
double the price when you could just pay everyone else 1.5 times what they're already being paid, and actually no, triple the price probably. Just pay people a bit more and then you'll be able to retain your staff. It's not fucking rocket science.
those, and we're now concentrating.
Digging. Furiously digging the NHS's grave. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. The question is, when is the ceremony?
At the moment in England are facing financial deficit. So we've never been busier, yet we can't afford to keep going.
Can you hold that there for me? They say they can't afford to keep going, but I'm literally watching them keep going, so I need more clarification on that. I think some of the some of the reason why the NHS is still going is because we're all just too nice and we want to help people and we want it to carry on and we want the NHS to keep going. So the NHS is kind of held together by workers like grasping at the seams, like, oh, their fingers are slowly slipping off, but for now they're just holding on until another person comes and replaces them, and then that person holds on a little bit, and then the sort of other person just falls off and goes, oh, okay, you got it now, I'll see you later.
Got this here, pop this on your finger.
Well, I think there's an obvious and apparent decline in the service, the NHS as a service as a whole. What we're seeing is more difficulty.
Whilst having an NHS healthcare professional seeing you as your doctor, there's definitely a decline in the service. Good job she clarified, in the NHS service as a whole.
For patients to even get just a basic appointment.
Good.
How do the news teams get in here?
To see what's happening now is actually really more than a tragedy.
Not gonna lie though, this guy, I'm guessing he's a GP, but this guy's probably like, oh, thank fuck I can type my notes up whilst this lady's talking to the news people. I can just, reply to a few emails, I can type the notes up, and they've probably given me like an extra long appointment because they know I've got the news crew in, so it's nice. Nice time.
It's actually, I think it's criminal the way it's been left to deteriorate. It's a political decision as well. I could say a lot more, but I won't, because then I'll get really angry.
It is a political
The main stress
decision.
in general practice is time. Over the last 10 years or so, the number of GPs hasn't gone up, but the complexity and the sorts of work that we're doing as GP has gone up massively.
Has anybody noticed how many things that man has on his desktop? I was going to make a very rude comment. Maybe we can cut this out, I don't know, but he's got almost as many things on his desktop as he has wrinkles on his head. I don't feel like that should make it to the cut.
Pop your chin forward. How does that feel?
Here.
Yeah. Pop your head back as far as it will go.
And here.
The bottom line around pressures for GPs has actually made the job impossible to be full-time. And we have no full-time GPs on this at this practice at all. That's okay, up here?
And that is some of the issue, is dilution of doctors. Like, there may be the same, not same, but similar number of doctors in the service, but they're all diluted because none of them want to work full-time. And they'll just go, oh, well, I'll work part-time, but I'll work less favourable hours, or I'll do extra locum shifts, which will earn me double, triple what I earn in a day normally, so that I can make up those hours. But I don't want to be committed to doing 5 days a week.